Hey everyone, it's Anthony Allen Ramos. All right, iconic rocker, pop star, one of my favorites, Belinda Carlisle is back. She's got a brand new EP. It's called Kismet. It's so good, so fun. And guess what? She's heading out on tour coming very soon. And I'm so excited to be chatting with her right now. Belinda, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. It's great to see you. I'm still blasting Kismet nonstop. If You Go is my fave, so congratulations. I love it all.
Thank you. I'm really proud of it. It's a good collection of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that your son was very instrumental in all of this happening. We'll talk more about that. But, as we sit here in Pride Month, you've been such a friend and an ally to the LGBTQ community. So I would love to talk about that. Tell me about some of your early interactions, with the community and why it's so important for you to be, so supportive of us.
Well, my friends, even in high school, 90% of them were gay or lesbian, even though they weren't out.
Yeah.
It was obvious, So, that's just the way it's always been. So I remember during, and that we, in the punk days in LA, it was so inclusive and so welcoming. There were a huge gay following. We had a huge gay following. It was just very diverse, and I didn't even think about sexuality. There was no reason to think about it. I think, it was just they were my friends, and that was it. But then I remember when the first AIDS case in West Hollywood, it was a little deli, a guy that worked at the deli, and then then that became this huge, of course, epidemic, and I lost a lot of friends, and so then I started getting involved. I'm doing this all in a nutshell. Then I started getting involved in whatever I could to sort of help the community out, and that's the way it's always been. And then when my son was born, and I always had a little bit of a inkling that he might be gay. I mean, there were certain clues along the way. And it was whatever, we're a very gay friendly family. And then he came out when he was 14. And of course, the first thing that I think of as a mom is what kind of world is he going to have to face, as a gay young man.
Yeah, and I think, thank goodness that, you and your family are so supportive. But I love how instrumental he was kind of in this resurgence for you with this EP, and now you're hitting the road again. I mean, I've seen you so many times through the years, but, I know you told the story before, but basically your son ran into the great Diane Warren at a coffee shop, and then here you are, and he was like, I think my mom should do music again, and she's like, let's do it, and here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about really, I was kind of in retirement mode, and not that I ever quit working completely, but dialing it back, at least 50%. So my son went to a coffee shop he never normally goes into, and Diane was at this coffee shop, but she usually goes at a different time. And my son went up to her and introduced himself. She's like, oh my God, get her on the phone right now. So you know how she's intense. So they FaceTimed me, and I was like, whoa, get down to the studio. And I was like, just sort of out of the blue. It was kind of shocking. And then I thought, well, do I really want to do that? Because it's a big commitment. But I went to the studio, because you don't say no to Diane Warren. And she played me Big, Big Love, which she had written only a couple of days before she ran into my son, and she didn't know who it was for. She said, I don't know, someone will come along. And then she was like, bingo. And so Big, Big Love is for me. She played it for me, and I was like, oh my God, this is so good. I didn't understand why she'd be giving it to me, because normally the caliber of that kind of pop song goes to somebody who's younger or somebody who's in the charts. So I really thought that my days of doing the pop and the sort of genre that I had done it in the 80s and early 90s, those days were over, because nobody was ever going to give me a good song. I mean, it just wasn't going to happen. So the fact that she gave it to me, and then she wrote If You Go
Love
with me
one,
in mind. I know, it's good. And then, she had a few other ones, which was really weird because I'm picky. And every single song that she thought that might be good for me, I absolutely loved. And that never happens. I'm so picky. So it was like meant to be. So my son definitely, if it wasn't for that chance meeting, this wouldn't have ever happened, I don't think.
Yeah.
And in fact, I know. Yeah.
That's Kismet. And now it's like, I'm so excited because a tour is coming. I mean, it's so exciting. And now you get to obviously perform your, big hits that we all know and love, but now you're going to do these new songs. What's that going to be like for you?
Scary. I've already started working on them, just like memorizing the lyrics, because I don't want to go, because I have a tendency sometimes to go blank. But no, it's going to be totally fun. I did Big Love for an event in the UK, and that was really fun to sing. And and my guys in the band, they're really excited because it's like, not so much for me, because I love when I do a song like Heaven, which I've sung a million times, to see people's expressions and their reaction makes it all makes it really fun for me. The guys is a different story. So I know they're really excited about playing new material. Me, I'm excited about it. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited.
I think we're gonna eat it up. I'm so excited to see you in LA. What has it been like for you? Like you said, you were kind of in semi-retirement mode, not fully, but kind of just, and now you're literally got a new EP hitting the road. I mean, does this like fuel you to want to just keep going and do more, or what's the vibe?
I don't know. No, because I'm just taking things as they come.
Yeah.
And that's how I've always, that's how my career has always been. Nothing has ever been really contrived and like, oh, then we're going to do this and then we're going to do that. It's never been, I've just kind of winged it as I went along. And I've had management that thankfully that's gone along with my winging it. So I'm going to get through this year, and I'm going to take some time off next year, a good 6 months off, I think. And then I'll see, but I know that I can never say never, because I've been proved wrong so many times. I'll never do another pop album again. I'll never do another tour again. I'll never do the Go-Go's again, So, but I've always been proven wrong. So I'm not going to say never.
Whenever I think of you, I always imagine like a very zen, like I feel like you've got like the key to just being happy and chill. What's the wisdom? What advice can you tell us? Because I think about, especially for our community, but just people in general, it's so crazy, this world right now.
I know.
How do you just kind of, keep your head on straight?
It's a lot of hard work. I mean, I always say it's really hard to stay even and keeled, but I don't want to get so much into it, because I know it'll bore people, but I have I have a really strong spiritual foundation I live my life from. I do yoga every single day. I chant every single day. I meditate every single day. And I really think that if it wasn't for that, I think I would be all over the place. I don't watch the news. I figure I don't buy into the whole fear thing. I really don't let them talk me into believing that there's more bad out there than good. So, I do a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to be even, and a lot of commitment to be even, but it's worth it.
Well, I so appreciate that. It's a good reminder to everyone out there. And just a reminder, you can get tickets to see Belinda right now before she's heading out on the road very soon. It's going to be like you're on for a long time. It's through the fall and going all over the place.
Yeah, I have 2 little runs in the States, and then I take a couple months off, and then I'm in Australia for a month, I think.
I love that. Yeah. Well, that's going to be so much fun. And also, Kismet is out now. You can stream it. You can download it, all the things. Belinda, but thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
And,
thank you. Nice seeing you.
Absolutely. You too.